So welcome to the 9th and final video in this huge beliefs series. And I did not plan for it to go this long, but I hope that you've gotten a lot out of it. What I tried to do with this whole series was to place everything that I knew inside of it to hopefully save you time, because it's taken me 25 years to do all of this and get to the place where I'm at. I would like to shrink that down to about 6 months to a year for you. So hopefully you can do that. And I think you can, kind of with all of the information that's here. So again, it's trying to be practical, help you change your life. And that's, if you haven't been here before, that's what we're all about here. I'm Michael Kowal, and this is my channel. And every week I put out a new video about how to work from the inside to change your life. And really specifically, I like to call myself a cheerleader for exploring everything inside, your heart, your soul, your spirit, your feelings, your beliefs, certainly, and your thoughts. Because I believe sincerely that that's where it really truly begins to create the life that you want. Because when you get everything straightened out inside, your life simply follows. It's that easy. So if you haven't already, come on along, subscribe, come along on the journey, and check out every video coming up here, because I think you're going to get a lot out of it. I'm ending the belief series here, but I'm probably going to start in on love and things like that. But again, always with the idea to help us figure out how to create the lives that we truly want. So with that being said, let's get on to this last and final episode, the summary and kind of how it has changed my life. This Michael Kowal, the person sitting here in front of you talking right now, is a much different person than he was even just 7 or 8 months ago. Because I've been doing this for about 20 to 25 years, focusing on beliefs to change my beliefs, because I understood at that point. I got a book called The Nature of Personal Reality. It's a Seth book. Outstanding book. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. But one of the classic quotes within there is that you create your own reality based on your beliefs. And as soon as I heard that idea, I thought, oh God, okay, this is it. This is easy. Because at that point, I didn't like my life. And I still didn't. I haven't liked my life a lot, to be honest with you, up until fairly recently. I mean, there's a lot of great aspects of it, but I was always stopping myself with my limiting beliefs. And if you're here watching this final one, or maybe the first time you've seen this, you probably are in the same boat. We all have lives that we want to live. I think we all inside kind of understand and feel, oh, I think I'm a lot better than what I'm producing here, right? And we want to figure out how to do that. And truly, by going after our limiting beliefs and getting rid of those, and specifically what we're doing is actually focusing on the beliefs that we want. That's how we can change our lives. So with this whole series, I've gotten into, and I've introduced you to the idea that I believe a belief is just a thought stuck on repeat, which means you can change it. You can change it because it was just a thought. That's the way it started off with. So all the techniques that I've covered, whether the classic method or hypnosis and self-hypnosis, or finally ending last week with meditation to change your beliefs, it's always with trying to get below the subconscious, or below the conscious, to get into the subconscious and change things from there. So how has it actually changed my life? Okay, well, for me, the biggest thing is, there's a couple of different things. I suppose the easiest way is to say, financially, I've never achieved a lot of the things that I've wanted to achieve. And 3 years ago, which is when the most significant change has happened for me and in my life, and that was coincidentally when I started to meditate. So take that for what it's worth. I highly recommend meditating. And again, specifically to change your limiting beliefs, specifically to focus on the beliefs and the things that you want to create. So 3 years ago, at that point, my wife and I'm semi-retired, and my wife and I have an online business that we operate. And 3 years ago, that took a nosedive, 30% drop in sales. And so we were panicking a little bit, and Michael was going to have to go get himself a real job again, which I wasn't looking forward to. But at that same point is where I found the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which is the Joe Dispenza book that I mentioned here in the video series, and introduced me to the concept of using meditation to change your beliefs, to get down into the subconscious. So at that point, we were down 30% in sales and, all of this stuff. By the end of that year, 3 years ago, we had made that back up, the 30%. Okay, so this is financially. 2 years ago, we more than doubled our sales. Last year, we nearly doubled yet again our sales. So from a financial standpoint, we are in a much different place than we were 3 years ago, and definitely even a year ago or 2 years ago. So, but at that point, here's the deal. I have focused on some limiting beliefs that I've had for financial goals, okay? I have some very large goals that I want. I have not achieved those. And like I said last week, when you're doing this process, when I was doing this process the wrong way, which was just going through meditation only and not, as I said last week, getting to the place where you understand that to really change your beliefs and to truly create what you want in your life, you first of all have to learn to love yourself, and even before that, you have to learn to forgive yourself. And at that point, that's when things really took off, okay? Now that's specifically going in to create my world the way I wanted. But the interesting thing is even before that, during this time where I was doing the regular meditating, that's where, again, from a financial standpoint at least, we're just talking about that, things started just really floating everywhere in our life up. I still hadn't gotten rid of all of the really deeply held limiting beliefs that I had. Not the way that I've done it in the past 7 to 8 months. I still hadn't even approached that. But through the meditation, our financial outlook has completely changed. So what ended up happening is that you start to knock down some of these limiting beliefs along the way. And certainly at the same time, my life was getting a lot more peaceful. I was feeling a lot more confident about myself, or a little bit more confident. I've gotten a lot more confident lately in the past number of months. But the confidence, just the overall general state of my life was becoming more calm. And this was through this process in the past 2 to 3 years. And then in this last year, when I finally figured out the whole, loving myself portion of it and the forgiveness, self-forgiveness, that's where things really started to take off more personally inside, even more so than what I had up until that point. And at this point, in the past 6, 7 months, what's happened is I've really come to a sense of peace inside. Now, I'm not done. I'm not done by any stretch. But from where I was constantly just nailing myself with thoughts and bad thoughts and reinforcing crap stuff all over the place, that stuff has really reduced down to where I kind of don't do it that much. I'll have times where it swells up or, flares up a little bit. But it's pretty amazing right now. And the sense of loving myself, as I talked about last week, I kind of laughed because I sit there and I go, it's kind of funny because it actually feels really kind of nice. It's not really, overly crazy or anything, but it's just my sense of loving myself is pretty great. So I've really achieved a huge change in my life to be able to approach it with this sense of peace, with this sense of calm, with this understanding that I am now truly going to start creating the life that I've always wanted because I've gotten rid of all of this other stuff. I've changed my focus into focusing on what I want and gotten rid of the things that were holding me back, which were the limiting beliefs, the lack of self-love, and God knows the lack of shame and guilt associated with everything that I blamed myself for throughout my life. So this person sitting in front of you, I am completely different. I am proud of who I am and what I've achieved. And if there's anything I can say to you is that if you want to do this, to follow these things, you may, in a relatively short period of time, start knocking through those limited beliefs that have stopped you, perhaps the ones that have stopped you for a hell of a long time. You can change your life, and even as you're not necessarily getting everything straightened to begin with, I am guessing from my own experience that your entire life will begin to float up, will become better in many respects, even not associated with the beliefs that you're looking at. Because you're starting to get rid of all of those things. You're starting to love yourself. You're starting to forgive yourself. And with this, the rest of my life is going to be amazing, and I know it. I've got some amazing dreams set up, things that I'm working on currently in my meditations, and I am looking forward to those things happening. I'm looking forward also to understanding that when I do have flare-ups, when things come up, I know how to handle it. I know that I will be able to handle it. I know that I'll be able to get myself focused yet again on the things that I want and to let go of, and they simply disappear, those limiting beliefs. So that's what I have achieved so far, which is massive, both at a personal level, which is the most important thing for me, as well as a financial level. I mean, it's been pretty nice. I've been very pleased and very thankful. So much gratitude going on in my life right now. And for this channel and for the ability to be able to share some of this stuff with you. And I'm getting more subscribers now, and I'm very happy about that. Able to talk with you out there with the comments and stuff. It's fantastic. Any questions you've got, you let me know. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep this up. I got a lot more to learn and a lot more to create in my life. So hopefully you'll come along with me. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I am, changing your life and choosing the life that you want and actually creating it and making it happen. And you can do that with changing your limiting beliefs. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for joining on this little series here. Hope to see you next week, and have a ball this week. Love ya.